I'm reviewing a 2023 Archer and Olive journal today, not because I expect things to have changed a lot since my last review in 2021, but mainly because my reviews now cover a lot more stuff like construction of the journal and sustainability. So I am going to tear this journal to shreds. Joking, I could never do that. I'm Ruby from The Useful Journal. I post videos of my dot grid journal reviews, journal spreads for my many journals, and washi tape art. I have a website where you can compare the details of different brands of journals. Today I'm reviewing an Archer and Olive journal from the Retro Road Trip collection. I will tell you a bit about the company and their products, the packaging of the journal, the features and construction of the journal, the paper, a pen test, which is my own original design, and I will go through social and environmental responsibility of the company. Archer and Olive is definitely one of the most successful bullet journal companies and has a huge range of journals that get updated regularly with new products. The last few years has seen the range expand from just journals to washi tape, papers, stamps, stencils, paint pens, markers, and the list goes on. Archer and Olive was established in 2016. What I especially like is that it grew from Bonnie Cool's desire to find a better product for journaling, which was an important tool for her in managing her mental health. Back in 2016, there wasn't a lot of options available in terms of journals with thicker paper, so Archer and Olive led the charge in producing a journal that had 160 GSM paper with a dot grid that was perfect for bullet journaling. Archer and Olive sell their products through their website. The office is based in Texas in the United States, and the products are shipped from a third-party distribution center in California. This is going on the general reports from the Archer and Olive community on Facebook. They appear to have had a lot of issues with orders arriving in damaged packages, but I will say this, that the community are pretty unanimous in saying that Archer and Olive customer support is excellent and that they have never had a problem getting things replaced. While the company says delivery to countries like Australia, where I live, could take up to 12 weeks, my package came in less than 3 weeks, and I've heard people say it comes in as little as 9 days, so it can be pretty quick. Shipping is costly, so check out local suppliers if you're outside the US, or save up for a really big spend so the shipping's a bit more worthwhile. The products are mostly made in China, which is pretty typical of countries like the USA, Asian countries and Australia, and that's just because China is closer and cheaper. If you're in Europe, the products are more likely to have been made in Europe, but it is very common for the Pacific region to have products that are made in China. Most A5 journals are now only available with 192 pages. If you are looking for a different size, Archer and Olive have a bit of everything, including B5, square, B6, A6, a traveller's size, and even letter-sized in some styles. Archer and Olive are very experimental, so while they started out mostly with linen covers and a few leatherette covers, they have an assortment of other options now, including covers with embroidery. They nearly all have an icon of some sort, often establishing a theme for a set. Pages are usually standard for specific sizes. For instance, B5 journals have 160 pages and A5 journals are usually 192 pages. They go as low as 112 pages for the A6 and B6 sizes. Paper is almost always 160 GSM, and you can get journals in white, black and craft paper colours. If you're adventurous, you can also get Neapolitan notebooks, and they have 160 GSM dot grid notepads in pastel or specialty colours. The journal comes in a durable box wrapped in a layer of thin plastic wrap. Inside the box, the journal is wrapped in paper. Archer and Olive journals no longer have a belly band unless they're one of the older styles. You'll see that there are a lot of Chinese knockoffs that mostly have a belly band similar to the previous ones seen on Archer and Olive journals, which is one of the unfortunate problems that arise for high-profile companies that manufacture their products in China. I suspect this risk of counterfeits, copying, knockoffs, whatever you want to call it, is one of the reasons that Archer and Olive changed their product packaging so much, particularly in more recent years, and that is demonstrated by the box on this particular journal. Archer and Olive don't provide gifts with their journals. The journal has a stamped metallic image on the front, an elastic closure, a pen loop, rounded corners on the pages. Many of their journals have gilded page edges, but this one has plain, a rear pocket, and 2 ribbons. One of the ribbons has a charm on it, which is really nice because it gives you something to hold and is a point of difference for this brand. The ribbons are long enough to hold on to while pulling around the corner to open the journal. The weight and thickness of the journal is typical of one that has 192 pages. The journal has a hard cover with a stitched book binding. It lays flat with a little encouragement. There are 12 signatures, which are the groups of folded pages in a case binding. The construction of the journal is great. The joins between the signatures are even, and while the double page at the join doesn't sit flat, they can be pressed down evenly without ripping at the stitching or creating an uneven gap between dots on the 2 sides along the length of the page. I will note here that for some reason, just on these 2-page spreads where the signatures are glued together, the dots on the right-hand page are further from the outside edge of the page and closer to the middle than on any other spread. This is a very minor issue and hardly noticeable. My particular journal also has 2 lumpy corners, but they don't really bother me. The pages sit evenly and are a good distance inside the cover, which protects the edges. The ribbons are attached on the inside of the binding, which means that they're extra secure because they've actually been stitched in. I can't comment on the durability of this particular journal over its life. My previous Archer and Olive journals survived reasonably well. The spine lost a bit of its structure, but no pages fell out, and the stamped icon on the front also lost a bit of its detail. There aren't a lot of markings in an Archer and Olive journal, just the book belongs to page and dot grid. There are no page numbers. There are 27 dots across and 39 dots down the page. Dot alignment does vary by up to 1.5 millimeters across the double spread, which has been an ongoing problem for the brand. Interestingly, the grey dots are marginally darker than in my previous Archer and Olive journal from 3 years ago. I haven't found it an issue as they're small. My journal has 160 GSM paper in a bright white colour. It's fairly smooth, leading to some smearing, which is most likely due to the coated paper. The coating also probably contributes to the mottled finish of watercolour paints when you use a lot of water, as the paint will soak into some fibres more than others. You don't tend to get mottling when you're using uncoated paper, but most journals like this journal have coated paper. As expected, there is no bleed or ghosting from any pens or inks except for the alcohol-based ultrafine Sharpie. There was a good result for fountain pens with the smooth paper assisting with glide and no obvious feathering. There's some shadow left behind when erasing a lead pencil and good results for several whiteout options. The best was the whiteout tape and jelly roll pens. The smooth coated finish works against getting standout results with coloured pencils and watercolours. Watercolour didn't soak through and caused minor wrinkling of the page. To get the best results, don't use too much water and avoid going over your work too many times, as this will cause the paper to pill. See my watercolour videos for results of this journal compared to other journals. The owner and CEO of Archer & Olive, Bonnie Cool, has always been very open about the fact that she has bipolar and anxiety, and that journaling has been a major tool in her managing her mental health. Bonnie periodically shares free resources to help her customers manage their mental health, including a creative wellness handbook and guided journaling classes on YouTube. In 2023, she gave her staff a paid mental health day off, and Bonnie uses live online sessions to discuss mental health issues, among other important issues such as Black History Month and Women's Day. Unfortunately, Archer & Olive's weakest front is sustainability. They don't use sustainable forestry paper, and while there aren't many single-use plastics in their packaging, their products come with an extraordinary amount of packaging, for instance in their subscription and monthly boxes, with many of the cards and papers used for stickers or packaging most likely containing a degree of plastic. It's hard because I understand the consumer demand for pretty packaging and for interesting and diverse products in their subscription boxes. But they often come with small plastic items that I'm guessing many buyers might discard. Anyway, sustainability is one area that Archer & Olive could improve on quite a lot. While Archer & Olive is at the pricier end of the scale, you are definitely going to get the quality that you're paying for. They often have sales, and of course, there's the subscription boxes offered quarterly that often include journals. In the past, mystery boxes, which usually contained at least 2 journals and more often 3, are rarely if ever offered these days, but you can get mystery pen sets. The last mystery set I saw offered was a mystery notebook, sticker set and washi tape in May. Register for the Archer & Olive emails if you'd like to know when things like this become available. One of the best things about Archer & Olive is the community that has been created around the brand, and you cannot underestimate the power of having a visible person heading the company that customers feel like they know and can relate to. There are regular lives on YouTube where customers get to talk directly with Bonnie and other creators, and an extremely active Facebook group, which at the time of this video had over 15,000 members and daily posts. Overall, I love Archer & Olive's culture and ethos and the high quality and range of their products. I wish they would do more to address sustainability, but I am really impressed with what they're doing about addressing mental health and the way they support their journaling community. The journals are a pleasure to use, and while the results with watercolour can be patchy if you use too much water, limit the amount of water you use and you will get very similar results to most of the other journal brands. If you found this review useful, please check out my other reviews at The Useful Journal on YouTube and my website. Please like this video, subscribe to my channel, and thanks so much for watching. See ya!